sunlight begins to fade now, and I feel like I'm losing time, but I don't know how I'm here. The sunlight has turned to gray, and I feel like I'm losing love again. I don't know how I'm here. I could feel your heartbeat. I could feel somewhere you're looking down. I could feel your heartbeat. I could feel somewhere you're looking down. 'Cause it's you I'm loving, and it's you that I wanna breathe, and it's you I'm loving, and it's you that I wanna need.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Simracersworld TV, and welcome to Monza for rounds 7 and 8 of the Simracersworld TCR series. My name is Chaz Draycott, and I'm going to be calling all of the shots tonight for you, and of course, giving you the broadcast as well. We go straight to the little bit of race info that we have here. Now, you can see that we're not using the usual layout of Monza tonight. We're using what's called the Junior layout. And it is a fantastic layout indeed. Very, very simple looking circuit, as you can see. We use the usual Monza pit straight. Oh, there's a large accident in front of the guys there. Very, very large accident. It looked like some of the cars were sat stationary on the racing line. Well, just off the racing line. Not quite sure what the guys are going to think of that one. But you could see the damage model in effect there. Anyway, we use the main pit straight, and then the junior section is something that isn't often used. I don't think actually used ever anymore, to be honest with you. And then all of a sudden you're on the back straight coming into the Parabolica. It's almost like an oval, but the overtaking opportunities into turn 1 are going to be rife tonight. And of course, these TCR cars very susceptible to slipstreaming. They give a pretty hefty hole in the air. And I'm just going to see whether we can get the championship standings up. Okay, apparently not. Brilliant. There we go. Well, that's as good as it gets. I've tried to update that over the course of the evening. There's another technical issue to put on the massive list that I now have. So, luckily, to hand, I have the Drivers' Championship points. So we'll be able to see exactly what is going on. I'll show you one driver at a time. Lewis Ward currently leads the Drivers' Championship. He has 327 points. Adam McNally and Connor Parisi are currently tied for second in the championship. There is Adam. Just looking for Connor. There he is. They're on 303 points. Behind them, in 4th place in the championship, doing a fine job at the moment, is Matthias Dettige. He is on 282 points. And then just behind them, despite only doing 2 race meetings so far, taking 3 out of 4 wins in the races that he's been in, and finishing in, I believe, 2nd place in the only race that he hasn't won so far this season, is Miguel Freitas. A bit of drama before qualifying began. Miguel actually had a wheel failure and had to disconnect from the session. So, luckily for him, he's back in. And back in the hunt for more race wins tonight. In the AM category, we see that Lee Deemer, who I cannot see in the session. Doesn't look like Lee is actually in the session, to be honest with you. But Lee Deemer leads the AM class at the moment in the championship with 165 points. 137 points just behind him in the standings is Carl Jacquelet of Year 1 Racing in the beautifully brightly coloured and crazy liveried car, the number 242 machine. Dean Timms is 3rd in the championship for Britsec Simsport. And yes, Dean, I'm afraid I still haven't managed to get rid of your initials after your name on here. I'm going to try and sort it out over the course of the night, but I've tried every single thing I knew of, and yeah, it's not quite working. Liam Silkstone is 4th in the AM Championship at the moment for XI iRacing Orange. And then behind him and 5th in the standings is Khan Nguyen for SCC Racing. As things stand at the moment, Fraser Smith has just gone fastest. Rashid Kassim is second at the moment. Miguel Freitas third. Alex Torres in fourth. Gregory Vranks is in fifth place. Oh, as Rashid Kassim does a 52.6 and a 52.5 for Gregory Vranks there. He goes fastest now for Simracersworld Esports TCR. Good job by him. Hello, hello everyone in chat. Please do wave away this evening and say hi. There's plenty of cars out there on track tonight and not all of the space in the world. What we're going to do is go on board with Scott Malcolm when I can find him. There he is. And we'll go on board for a lap of this very short circuit then. Out of the Parabolica that we all know and love, down the main straight, and you can see it is going dark already. This race is going to be a night race, the second one. Sebastian Denise goes into 13th place. Here is Scott going down the straight now. 53.8. And heading down to turn 1. Normally you'd be flat here, but on the brakes he goes. There's a car on the right, hopefully doesn't sit on the racing line. It's a Nomad car, that must be Ryan Walker. Look at this very narrow section through here, you really have to get it right. I've walked around there in real life and let me tell you, it is that narrow, it's crazy. Onto the throttle, out of the exit of Ascari as Torres goes second with a 52.5. And then you're already on the back straight with only one corner to go. Yeah, definitely Ian. I really hope there is some good racing tonight to brighten up the world. Of course, the thing that will not be mentioned on this stream has caused a lot of grief and a lot of cancellations for things. Smith goes second, Smith goes third, Dettige goes fourth. Carl Jacquelet into 6th place there with a really good time. Parisi goes up to 6th with a 52.7. Oh, there goes Hopley. Andy Hopley takes it up to 3rd place for Meraki Racing. His dad, Philip Hopley, is in the session tonight as well. He's apparently gone on to triples this week as well, so Philip will be trying his hand at getting used to them, maybe a bit more peripheral vision to help him out, as Miguel Freitas goes up to 5th position for Team Mad. And yeah, let's definitely hope they don't stay 2 meters away from each other. Gregory Vranks is on an outlap at the moment. I'm just trying to see if anyone's setting these sectors alight, but it doesn't seem that way. Adam Delmont is currently in 6th place, just got across the line actually. Does not improve on his time. Connor Parisi's 10th and doesn't improve on his time at the moment. Someone I can't see tonight is Jake Robertson out on track, unfortunately. Andy Fox is 26th at the moment. Oh, Miguel Freitas goes second. But Andy Fox, 26th at the moment. He'll be hoping to improve on his time as things stand. Now, I'm not sure actually, Ian. Are you related at all? Or am I just making a bad guess? Ah, okay. You're his brother, so fair enough then. Well, we'll be wishing him the best of luck. He doesn't improve there, does a 54.0. Matthias Dettige has gone top from Lewis Ward, and Miguel Freitas shuts me up straight away and goes top once again. That's the Miguel Freitas we know and love. We'll show you the gaps between the cars on the left. You can see that 1/10 of a second covers the top 8, and half a second at the moment only just is covering the top 17 cars. Make that 18 cars now. 18 cars all within a half a second of one another. Mark Woodhouse down in 16th at the moment. That's not where we'd expect to see him. Same with Adam McNally. Currently second in the championship, tied with Connor Parisi. He's down in 14th. He's getting help off his teammate there. That's the number 3 car of Adam Delmont. Across the line he goes. Doesn't improve. 53.4 again. At the moment, the AM class is a walkover for Carl Jacquelet. Now that Lee Deemer isn't here tonight, Carl can really reel in some points on him. Carl New in is second at the moment, then it's Liam Silkstone in 3rd in that category. And then 4th is Dave Cyrus for XI iRacing Orange as well, his teammate. Just behind him, not on track though, is Ryan Walker for Nomad Sim Racing. You can see Gregory Franks just behind him there, trying to warm the tyres as best as possible. Sebastian Denise and Vincent Charcenet both out for WRT Esport tonight. And there is Sebastian, and there is Vincent in the number 81 car. Still one of my prettiest liveries on the grid, one of my favourites. RevMatch Esports, speaking of pretty liveries, I love that blue and pink combo. There's Ben Thanes in 14th at the moment, and his teammate Steve Clays is down in 23rd position. It's all so close up and down the order. But Freitas ultimately on pole at the moment. Wow, okay. Alex Torres there with the aggression. Looking down the inside, he's 5th at the moment. Well, having a look down the inside in qualifying. Very feisty stuff. They both get a bit of grass on the exit. Torres has got the run by the look of it. He's got a slow Simracersworld Esports car on the side. I think that's Gregory Franks. Indeed it is. Well, Torres going past Clays there, down the inside. Oh, he's run wide at the Parabolica though. Matthias de Tige is very impressive at the moment. He is 2nd on the grid in the number 37 car. The Belgian doing very well indeed. Jez Banks 13th overall at the moment for Fury Simsport. Sliding the car around turns 1 and 2. Really going for it there. Really pushing the car hard there. Oh yeah, there is really going to be some big crashes tonight, Ian. We don't want to hope for it, but yeah, I must admit, it's definitely a possibility. Adam Delmont is now in 8th place. You can see he's trying to straight line that as best he can. He improves and McNally goes up to 6th. So Delmont now pushed down to 9th behind his teammate. That was Connor Parisi just in front of him there. Of course, Connor fighting Adam Delmont's teammate in the championship. Connor's been very consistent so far this season. He sits 13th on the grid at the moment, though. It's not where he wants to be. Simply Mark Woodhouse 16th as things stand. So this circuit has been a real curveball for some of these guys. They're not performing as expected. We've got Lee Woodburn, Jeremy Hessels, Edward May and Philip Hopley. Lee Woodburn is just coming out on track, actually. And believe me if I'm wrong, but in iRacing, the flag on the roof of that car, we'll just get a better look at it. That's a disqualification flag if I've ever seen one before. Am I wrong? Anyway, do say hello if you are in chat. We've got another 7 minutes of qualifying left, so what I'm going to do is put the next song on in the playlist. So we've got a little bit of music in the background, and we're going to do one of my favourite things to do with these cars. Who have we not looked at so far tonight? Let's have a look. To be honest, we've looked at everyone at least once. A couple of cars we might not have looked at. Let's go with Carn Newen, and let's go on the gearbox camera and listen to the rasp of the Audi as he goes down the back straight into the Parabolica, onto the brakes. Oh, it's gone wide though. Down the straight. All the way up through the gears. Hitting the rev limiter all the way down. Ryan Walker hops up the order into 14th position. He displaces Jez Banks. Torres does not improve in 2nd place, neither does Franks, neither does Smith. Some of these guys hopping into the pits. Miguel Freitas doesn't do a better time either, 53.4 for him. Oh, and Carn Newen is really pushing this car to the limit. There's Ryan Walker just behind. He's getting a mega run out of there. But pulling out of the slipstream like that is not ideally what he wanted there. Just in the background, I believe that is Jez Banks doing a bit of tyre warming. No, it's not. That is Jez Banks in front of us there. So who have I got wrong there? Was that Andy Fox? No, it was not. Jeremy Hessels is on track, but down in 27th place as it stands. Oh, it was Fraser Smith doing the tyre warming in the background. I do apologise. Of course, Brittech will have a new livery on their car at some point soon, I believe. They've got their Formula 3 cars done this week. Really trying to carry as much speed around turn 1 as possible there is Fraser. Ah, okay, Stephen DeWolf there. You like the technical analyzer here, Stephen, with all the facts and all the inside knowledge. I do appreciate it, my friend. Good to see you. So we'll have a look at Jeremy Hessels then. We'll keep an eye on him. He's just come around the final corner, actually, so across the line he goes. What can he do? Seemed to back out a little bit there. 53.6. He remains in 27th place. Only just, though. He's 2/10 off Lee Woodburn in 26th place. Such a tight and twisty section, and they're such gradual corners as well. You can try and take a late apex and get a run, and it might just not work for you. We're on 15 viewers at the minute. Good evening, Brian. How are you, mate? Good to see you. There is a rule with this broadcast. We're not talking about the epidemic. A wise ass. Well, yeah, Stephen, I could call you that as well if you want to, mate, but a technical analyst is how I'll put it. Nice friendly way of putting it. I was going to say it sounds like Jeremy's lifting off there, but he's just hitting the rev limiter, I think, through each gear. Improves again, 53.636. Very similar lap to his last one. There is, I believe, Vincent Charsonnet going through in the number 81 car. It is. For WRT Esport. Still in the M class, Carl Jacquelet is fastest. Ryan Walker has actually gone to second in the M class, with Carl Newen in third. At the very top of the standings, it's still this man, Miguel Freitas, once again. We're all used to seeing that name at the top of the standings so far in the races that he's been in. He did turn up for the first 2 rounds of the championship, but he's done 4 races this season, and he has won 3 of them and finished second in the one that he didn't win. So he's on form a little bit, and I'm very good, thank you, Brian. Very good indeed. Wasn't too well yesterday, but fortunately all good for today, and we can crack on and watch some brilliant racing. And hopefully not get sick of my voice in the meantime. Alex Torres is second at the moment, just ahead of Freitas on track. Comes out the final corner. He's got one of the Meraki cars with him there. I believe that's Andy Hopley. Do either of them improve? It doesn't look like it. Oh, fastest lap again for Miguel Freitas, 52.1. 3/10 clear of the rest of the field. He is absolutely on fire. He is rapid indeed. He's fantastic, is Miguel Freitas. He's such a humble bloke as well, such a top guy, as they all are in Team Mad, but wow. The tame Iberian, as they call him. I believe it has it written on the back of the car, actually. We could probably go to a chase cam and have a look. Let me try and find a chase cam. Yep, it does say it on the back. Hashtag tame Iberian. There you go. So this is Forza Cam. You can't say that word here. Good evening, Sebastian. Good to see you, mate. Out the final corner, a bit wide there, that might be an off track. Mark Woodhouse is up to 10th position now, so he's gained a few places. I know, yeah, 0.3 on a track with just 4 corners. How does he do it? Well, if we all knew how to do it, we'd all be as quick as him, I tell you. Rashid Kassim as well, down in 13th position at the moment. Not having the smoothest of rides. You may all notice as well, it's getting darker and darker. So me trying to visually recognise these cars is going to get a little bit more difficult as the night goes on. But I'll try, don't worry. Steve Clays is currently 19th for Rev Match Esports UGX Belgium. You know, that name that rolls off the tongue. He's got Fraser Smith just in front of him there on track. Behind is his teammate Ben Thayens. He's got really good slipstream there, those Clays. You've got to think that he might improve there. That must have been an outlap. It will be a night race, Ian. Yeah, we've got 2 races tonight, don't forget. 2 25-minute races. Oh, he's going to cut across his teammate there. Ben's down the inside. Steve gets out of the way and Ben goes through. So 20 seconds left of qualifying. Fraser getting out of the way there. He clearly didn't get a good run out of there. But it's certainly going to be interesting. We're going to see brake discs glowing. Oh, Woodhouse goes up to 6th place. Nice lap from Mark Woodhouse there. The rest of the cars ahead of him are also in the pits. Fraser Smith is probably one of the only ones that could have challenged to go higher. Qualifying comes to an end then. Thayens crosses the line. Does he improve? He's 11th at the moment. He does not improve. Neither does Clays, neither does Smith. Who else is on track? Rashid Kassim coming around the final corner. He is going slowly. That will not be an improvement. Dean Timms coming around the last corner now. Just ahead of him actually, Andy Fox. Andy crosses the line, 26th at the moment. Does he improve? He does not. Dean Timms crosses the line, does not improve either. Thank you very much for that, Stephen, mate. I do appreciate that. I would have... oh, wow, there's big damage there to Edward May's car. Huge damage. He's still carrying on. Oh, I can't get the right event. There you go. But thank you, Steve. Hello, Chris Moretta, my friend. How are you? Oh, I've got my work cut out, Brian. Don't you worry, mate. Don't you worry. Oh, look at that contact. Oh, he's ripped both the wheels off the right-hand side of that thing. Amazing effort. Right, then. So for the first of 2 races tonight, then. Waiting for it. Waiting for it. We have a grid. Miguel Freitas, pole position again. Gregory Vranks alongside him on the front row. Alex Torres in 3rd place with Matthias Tetij in 4th. I must have missed Gregory going 2nd there. I do apologise. Lewis Ward goes into 5th place, championship leader. Mark Woodhouse is 6th with Adam McNally in 7th. 8th place alongside him on the grid is Andy Hopley with Fraser Smith and Adam Delmont. Get your words out, Charles. Lining up alongside him to round out your top 10. Then we have Ben Thayens and AM class leader Carl Jacquelet. Followed by Rashid Kassim and Conor Parisi. Ryan Walker, 2nd in AM, 15th overall. Jez Banks is 16th, ahead of Scott Malcolm and Vincent Chaussonnet, with Steve Clays and Carn Newen in 20th. Followed then is Dean Timms, DCT, don't forget that. Sebastian Denise is 22nd, Liam Silkstone 23rd, and Dave Cyrus in 24th. Back of the grid there is Edward May, 25th, with Andy Fox, Lee Woodburn, Jeremy Hessels, and Philip Hopley rounds out your grid for the first of 2 races tonight. Miguel Freitas, probably the man with it to do. Gregory Vranks has sneaked up there as well. What we're going to do is shut the music up right before the drop as well. Nice timing indeed. Alex Torres in 3rd. He's been very exciting to watch this season. Very flamboyant in his driving. So hopefully we'll see some more of that. Adam McNally, 2nd in the championship, tied with Conor Parisi. He's in 7th. Conor Parisi is all the way back there in 14th place. So Adam will be hoping to get some points on him in this round. Adam Delmont is between them, of course, his teammate, and he will help as best he can. So then, the lights are coming on. Jacquelet looks like he jumped the start there, and the round 7 of the Simracersworld TCR series is away. It's a very tame start from everybody by the look of it. Looks like Jacquelet's had a bit of a nightmare actually. He's dropped back, now he jumped the start. We'll look back to the front though. Freitas leads them into turn 1. Is anybody going to wash wide and make any contact? Doesn't look like it. Oh, Scott Malcolm's around. Scott Malcolm is the car involved. Andy Fox is going 3 wide there with a couple of others. Bit of door banging. Oh, he's been turned. He's been turned by the Brittech car. That's Dean Timms. Getting involved as well was Liam Silkstone, I believe. Scott Malcolm has gone completely backwards. They're getting going again. Ryan Walker's in there. But Miguel Freitas leads the way. And look at this lot in the middle here. This is Parisi, Thayens, Kassim, I believe is actually just behind this lot. It's Fraser Smith and Adam Delmont just in front, nearly making contact. Fraser Smith has gone wide. All over the place, these boys, all trying to find a gap, trying to find a bit of slipstream to get through. Kassim is going to be on the right-hand side. Thayens is going to be in there as well. He's going to try and get past Parisi, who is pushing Delmont in towards the braking zone. Trying to shove him into turn 1. Thayens has gone down the inside though, makes it stick. Just behind him there was another move there. Edward May going past Andy Hopley. Andy's gone completely backwards at the moment. He's 15th now. He's had a terrible first lap. And an absolute nightmare of a start. But we've got a great battle going on there. Vranks and Tetij side by side, the 2 teammates. Lewis Ward getting involved as well. He's up into 4th place now. Franks has gone down to 5th. Lewis down the inside into the Parabolica. And Torres is gradually losing touch to the cars in front. Oh, we've got cars around. Well, have we? Yep, there's someone off. Andrew Hopley has apparently crashed. What's happened to Andy? He's got Vincent Chaussonnet behind him. There's a sea of cars, absolute sea of cars. Tito joins us in chat. Hello. Oh, there's contact between Hopley and Chaussonnet. And Hopley is, well, he does a good job at not letting it go all the way around. That's the beauty of front-wheel drive, I suppose. He's with Philip Hopley now in the midfield as well. Oh, we've got cars off. Khan Newen. Jeremy Hessel's just in front. It's kicking off all over the place, but De Tige has this fantastic train of cars behind him now. That's championship leader Lewis Ward with Adam McNally, Gregory Franks and Mark Woodhouse with him as well. I believe Lewis Ward's going to get alongside here actually and get a run down the straight. Torres and Freitas have got this quite easy in front, the Spaniard and the Portuguese driver who leads the race. And then it's the Belgians and the Brits having the battle with Conor Parisi, the American, supervising it all. Look at the speed that De Tige carries into turn 1 there. Cracking job, and that now leaves Lewis Ward under the attack of Adam McNally, but what a train of cars this is. And of course, it has been pointed out to me that Khan Newen leads the AM category, but Silkstone is into 2nd place at the moment. Of course, Carl Jacquelet, who was leading the AM category, is now way down the field. He must have been involved in that shunt at the start. Rashid Kassim has dropped a long way down as well, actually. He must have been involved in some sort of incident because he was a bit further up before. It's very easy to miss these things. Let's have a look at what happened to Rashid. Oh, he gets a hit there. Oh, and the car goes around. Well, that is the exact reason. Oh, he's had another incident as well, actually, before that. Oh, no, this was the same moment, I believe. Carl Jacquelet went into the pit lane. This was the start crash. Oh, Sebastian Denise went in way too hot. Clipped the front of someone else's car and it put Walker into Scott Malcolm. Big accident there. So here's your race leader, Miguel Freitas. Yeah, Lee isn't racing. Why are you not racing, Lee? You're leading the AM Championship, mate. You need to defend it from Jacquelet. It's probably good for you to see Jacquelet having a bit of a bad time of this one at the moment, to be honest. Still, this battle rages on here. We've got McNally, we've got Vranks, Woodhouse, Thayens. Down the inside goes McNally on Lewis Ward. Big dive down the inside, manages to get the car stopped. Vranks tries to go through as well. It's 2 by 2 on the junior section here. Vranks now has the inside line. What a great bit of driving that was. He gets that done. Mark Woodhouse wants to prey on Lewis Ward, for lack of a better phrase. And Lee isn't racing because he hates the track. Oh, come on, Lee. You can do better than that, mate. Surprises me, that, buddy. Ward and Woodhouse still side by side. Woodhouse now on the inside, coming out of the Parabolica. It looks like he's going to get the job done. But of course, Lewis is going to get the slipstream now. We'll go on board and see the run that he's going to get. We've got 20 minutes of this race to go, and it is properly going to go dark. Alex Torres, interestingly enough, does the fastest lap of the race. Edward May, fastest lap of the race for Fury Simsport. Well done, that man. Con Nugent still leading the AM category at the moment. Great view here from Lewis Ward. You can see just how feisty it gets in that midsection of the track. Looks like Liam Silkstone's having an issue. He's gone off the circuit. Oh, he's had another incident as well. He's gone off again. Let's just see what happens here, because he's lost a couple of places. Oh, he's gone in way too hot there. Wow, Liam. Oh, that's a big hit as well. He's going to have broken the front. Yeah, the suspension's bent. Oh right, it was apparently the same incident that's come up twice. Nightmare for Liam Silkstone then. He was up to second. Yeah, it's okay to miss with a drop round, but in my opinion, you know, just give it a go, Lee. Even if you don't like the track, just give it a crack. Still get some championship points on the board. Carl Jacquelet is currently in 25th position, so that's working quite well for you at the moment. Rashid Kassim and Scott Malcolm having a battle further down the order here. Scott not giving this one up, of course. Both these drivers in the pro category. Oh, Scott doesn't leave all the room in the world there for Rashid to try and get a move on him. Just trying to see who the closest cars on track are, but there's a lot of them. These boys. Ben Thayens here with Edward May just behind him. Edward looking to the inside into turn one. Very close to the back of Ben Thayens, nearly making contact. And just ahead as well, Lewis Ward and Adam McNally still having this ding-dong. We'll go on the scary rear view camera, look back at the Excite iRacing car. Looks like Lewis got a really good run out of there, to be honest with you. Matthias de Siege is setting fastest sectors at the moment. He's done the middle two sectors are the fastest of the race. Oh, apparently Steve Clays has crashed. There's McNally getting very close to the back of Lewis Ward. We'll have a look at what happened to Steve Clays. What I'm going to do as well, you're going to hear a Windows noise. I do apologise for this. Just give me 1 second. Oh, Clays tries to avoid the car in front. Oh, I think the car in front went around anyway, you know. There's the Windows noise. Wow, what a nightmare for Steve there. He manages to carry on though. He does all right to keep the car on the circuit. Freitas still leading the race, bless you. Torres in second there, trying to break the slipstream to de Tige. Sorry, if you didn't hear the sneeze, that probably sounded a bit strange. I miss his sneeze in the background. Edward May just dropping behind Adam Delmont there. Adam making the move through. Oh, Sebastian Denise has had an accident as well. He's already got a bent front end on that car. They're 3 wide in front there. I believe that was Dave Cyrus and a couple of others. Let's see what happened to Sebastian Denise. Wow, again, way too hot into turn one. Oh, and that's one way of introducing yourself. Big hit there as the Meraki racing car came back on. I think that was Philip Hopley. I've just noticed that Mark Woodhouse has gone past Adam McNally as well. Either that or he was already ahead. Someone's moved around there. Sorry, Gregory Vranks it was, passing Mark Woodhouse. And here we'll go on again to the rear view camera. There is the Excite iRacing car closing, closing, closing. Are we going to go in the grill? Yep, hello. There's the gearbox and the alternator. And you know what? Mark's actually gone side by side with Ranks down the inside, got the move done. Brilliant stuff from Mark Woodhouse. Of course, using the slipstream to his advantage. Edward May has apparently crashed. Oh wow, I'm not surprised with these lot around him. Who have we got there? Delmont, Parisi. Just behind him, the number 77 of Jez Banks. Oh no, boys, don't do it. They're moving around a little bit, not too bad. Onto the brakes. Oh, he's just gone across the front of Delmont there. Wasn't Adam's fault. That was on Edward, and in my honest opinion, sorry mate. Rather be honest with you. Oh wow, who's that there just in front? Was that Vincent Charcenet and Jeremy Hessels? It was Vincent Charcenet and Fraser Smith. Side by side out the final corner. We're not even halfway through the race yet, we're only 11 minutes in. Thank you very much, Ian. I do appreciate that. Yeah, I'm trying my best to visually recognise these cars. McNally and Vranks have just swapped places. This battle's still going on. Luckily, when there's a car behind them, it lights them up like a Christmas tree, so I can still tell whose livery it is. Woodhouse wants these boys to fight here. Ben Thayens, of course, on the back of this. Wanting to stay involved in the fight. We'll just show you how it looks from on board. We'll probably go on board with Thayens so you can see the whole lot. Onto the brakes, into the Parabolica. You've got to be so smooth with these cars here and get your throttle inputs bang on, because obviously as soon as you put too much throttle on, It'll just understeer wide down the straight. Of course, Monza's not lit, so, you know, it's lit in other ways, in the other meaning of the word, but in terms of actual lighting, it is not properly lit. Oh, it looks like Ben's gone late on the brakes. Down the inside, Lewis Ward. I think there was a tiny little touch there. Lewis losing out because of that. Ben makes it through. Nearly goes into the back of Gregory Franks. But Ben now up into 7th. Lewis is not going to take that line down. Just ahead though, Matthias de Tige starting to put pressure on Alex Torres here by the look of it. Looks like he's going to get a good exit out of there as well. Looks like Torres went a little hot in there, but Torres seems to have got it hooked up, you know, on the exit. They're not letting Freitas get too far away. Edward May and Vincent Chaucenet having a fantastic scrap in the midfield, it seems. Every few seconds on the event viewer that I've got in the bottom corner, they keep swapping places with each other. Look at how cautious you've got to be getting the car slowed down there. Oh, McNally, Delmont's gone in the pit lane apparently. What's going on here? He must have really gone down the inside of Parisi quite far and be considered as going in the pit lane. McNally and Woodhouse also fighting for the front of this now. Woodhouse back in front. No, he's not, sorry. McNally's in front. It is getting harder to tell now. I promise you I'm trying. He's very close to the back of him, is Mark Woodhouse, really piling the pressure on. Of course, Frank's there, ready to pick up the pieces, and Thayens and Ward. Ward doing a great job, though, at the moment. Oh, and de Tige and Torres. They've finally swapped places. De Tige gets it stopped for turn 1. You'll see the speeds in the bottom corner now, how quickly they accelerate. Oh, Edward May. Hessels it is going down the order. Jeremy Hessels. What's happened to Jeremy? Oh, no, Jeremy. Side by side with Edward May. The number 7 car. Oh, he's gone way too hot into turn 1. Fair play to not go harder in the wall than that. That was a good effort, that, to be honest with you. He did well not to absolutely clout the barrier with that. We'll go back on with Ben Thayens here. You can see the speed now in the bottom corner. This is what I was aiming at doing before. Looks like he might be defending from somebody here. Lewis Ward is right behind him. He's trying to break the slipstream. Oh, Woodhouse is down the inside of McNally, but Vranks has got past the pair of them just in front. Gregory Vranks for Simracersworld Esports TCR getting the job done at the moment, ladies and gents. He's doing everything he needs to do. Thayens pops out the slipstream. Two of the other closest cars on track are actually Jeremy Hessels and Dean Timms at the moment. We will pop back to that in a second. Out the Parabolica once again. 15 minutes of the race gone, still 10 minutes to go. So we're having brilliant racing so far. We've got 16 viewers as it stands at the moment. Thank you very much, everybody, for sticking around. I do understand there is some superstar race going on with Nicky Team, Benito, Jimmy Broadbent, and a couple of Redline guys somewhere else. So, you know, that may get the attention. Thayens and Woodhouse side by side. Maybe a bit of contact there. Kissing wing mirrors as they go into the junior section. Thayens still on the inside though. The commitment knows no bounds with this boy. There's a bit of door banging on the exit. Mark Woodhouse gets sideways. Lewis Ward wants both of them. He goes to the right. Thayens covers him. He said, "Get out of my way, sunshine." Ben in the way, Thayens. He's down the inside of Woodhouse though, and I think he's still going to get that done. Lewis Ward's going to have the best seat in the house for this. Here we go. Onto the straight once again. Who's Lewis going to choose? Hello, Lewis. How are you, mate? I'm rubbing his racing, Stephen. It's fantastic to see. Is it Lewis or Louis? I'm sorry if I get it wrong. Mr. Hankey. On the brakes they go. Ben's still on the inside. Mark's still on the outside. Mark runs a bit deep, though, and I think Ben's clear. He is. Nice work from Ben there to keep his composure, get the car stopped in time. Delmont, Parisi and Jez Banks still having a good scrap as well here. Jez Banks in number 77 and Edward May in number 7 in identical liveries because they're in the same team. Thanks for making it easy for me, boys. Mucho appreciate. Delmont has got Parisi right up his chuff, though, as they go to the Parabolica. We'll get a look back at the front of that Jim Beaver Esports car. Although it looks like Delmont got a really nice run out of there, to be honest. It's done pretty well. All those fog lights and floodlights on the left that are going past us are not turned on. Why? It would make my life a lot easier if it was. Look at the run that Parisi's got. Oh, he's just going to show us what the engine bay looks like and give Delmont a bit of a kiss into turn 1. Just clinging onto the back of this fight as well is Fraser Smith now. He's going to try and get involved. Mixed results coming up, I imagine, for him because it's going to get feisty. The AM-class lead is actually under threat here. This is Carl Newen and Dean Timms is just behind him. I see what you mean. Well, I'll just call you Hanker then, if that's how it is. Look at this, trying to break the slipstream there. That's Jeremy Hessels. All he's doing is scrubbing off speed. To be fair, the best thing when someone's doing that in front of you is just driving a straight line. They're scrubbing off speed and you're still gaining it. It looks like Carl Newen holding on at the moment. 7 minutes of this race to go. And still there's fighting all up and down the order. Parisi has gone down the inside of Delmont into turn 1. Finally gets it done, but Delmont is going to want to fight back straight away. Jez Banks is going to be rubbing his hands together at the opportunity. But Connor really struggling to break away from these boys at the moment. Adam Delmont is the only car that is where he started at the moment. Andy Fox has put it in the wall at turn 1. Doesn't look like the damage is too bad, so he's going to bring it back on. Oh, he's just in front of these boys. That's Scott Malcolm and Steve Clays. We'll go back to Parisi Delmont. Delmont going to give him a push down the straight now, or is he just going to pop out of the slipstream? Oh, it looks like. Oh, down the inside. Down the inside. Jez Banks trying it on Adam Delmont. Gregory Franks has just had McNally and Ben Thanes swap places around him. And McNally is now clear. Let's have a quick look at what happened here. So this is McNally. He's got Thanes behind him. Franks in front. He goes down the inside. Thanes goes down the inside of the pair of them. Clears both of them. Runs a little bit deep. McNally with the cutback. Brilliant racing. Awesome racing by these boys. Franks tries it around the outside. And you know what? He gets it done. Oh, there's a tiny bit of contact though. Thanes loses out. Woodhouse and Ward are in there as well to pick up the pieces. Awesome fighting. Once again, the side-by-side. Woodhouse and Ward now with Thanes just in front. Woodhouse on the grass a little bit there. Ward has to slot in behind. This battle's still going on as well. Jez Banks has now got past Adam Delmont. So that gives Connor Parisi a bit of breathing room as well. The Iberian Coupe. Yeah, the only Iberians in the race are currently at the front. Miguel Freitas doing a sterling job as always. 4 seconds clear of Alex Torres, who is only 7/10 clear of Matthias Tatij. Matthias doing a great job at the moment in sticking around on his podium slot. With just under 5 minutes left to go. Now McNally has Franks behind him. This is awesome racing. You know what? Tracks like this are some of the best because it's lap after lap and everyone knows exactly how every other car around them behaves at each corner. They know where other drivers are stronger and where they're weaker. And of course, I mean, well, I've just had 5 swaps around here between Jez Banks and Adam Delmont. Make it 6 now. These guys have swapped places 6 times in a lap. So we've got Adam goes straight on a little bit. Jez comes back. Whoa, Fraser Smith sideways behind. Hello there, Ollie. How are you doing, mate? That's another position swap for Banks and Delmont. And they're still together. We do have to look back at this, though. Franks on the back of McNally again, just behind them. Thanes defending from Woodhouse. It's 2v2. It's 2 Brits and 2 Belgians. The Belgians are in the middle. Oh, sideways, 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 Mark Woodhouse. What a save. What a save. Oh, and even more sideways. That's Gregory Vranks. He must have clipped the grass or something. Lewis Ward's going to try and go in the corner pocket there. Doesn't quite do it. Oh, Ollie and Mr. Hanker are together in chat once again. This reunion has been only waiting since Thursday. From the Fiercely Forward team, is it? I'm really sorry if I've got that wrong. Well, here's another scrap of cars that we can't tell apart anymore because it's dark. Vrank's now behind Lewis Ward. Yeah, I think Greg might have had a little bit of a tap there. Oh, Andy Fox has gone off. No, Andy. Apparently Andy crashed. Don't know how, not really seen anything happen to him yet. Is he going to overshoot turn one? Oh, that's going fast. Oh, well stopped. Well stopped, that man. Good work indeed. So there's your race leader in the pitch black. That's Miguel Freitas, believe it or not. Liam, you're not having a great night, are you, mate? There's another letter to that word, I'm sure. How are you doing, buddy? Yes, Clog Champ. That's the one, Hanker. That's the one, mate. Love it. So Freitas leads the race then. He's got 4.7 seconds over Alex Torres, who still has Detige behind him. And then there's this madness. McNally ahead of Thayens, Woodhouse. Vranks has now fallen back a little bit, but he has Lewis Ward for company. Very, very close behind. Woodhouse looks like he's got deep. Oh, there's contact between Thayens and McNally. Oh, again, boys, it didn't need to happen. I'd say Thayens is the one to blame for that. Oh, wow, there's another car going in very, very deep. I believe that was Andy Hopley. He's managed to save the car from some proper damage, but... oh, dear, oh, dear, oh, dear. Oh, that's the end of the accident. Let's just get it in slow-mo. So McNally's gone straight. Thayens turns in, goes into him, and Woodhouse hits Thayens as well, to be honest. They all go a bit hot in there. Thayens is completely sideways, and then Woodhouse manages to sort of recover from it. And it's still in slow-mo, which is not exactly what we want. But we only have a minute of the race left to go, and Detige and Torres are side-by-side as well for second and third, so this is really kicking off. Good evening, Mr. King. How are you, my friend? Good to see you. This is a really spicy battle now for second and third position between Torres and Detige, the Spaniard and the Belgian. It's a real shame that that battle further back came to blows in the end, but you know, we've had some amazing racing. On the right is Detige, on the left is Torres. Detige trying to get the cutback around the Parabolica. Looks like he's not quite going to make it work. iRacing have got this dark sort of lighting really nailed now, haven't they? The cars are properly silhouettes. They didn't used to be. Yeah, the tent livery looks really good. It's just a nice combination of colours. And a blue gradient always gets my vote. I mean, you've all seen what my branding looks like. As wow, really trying to carry the speed there, Detige. Torres gets his stop very, very well. Gregory Vranks goes up a place as well. Dave Cyrus and Jez Banks apparently going off track further down the order. But Torres is just hanging on here. Doing a smashing job. But just about to come into the final call. Oh, there's a crash behind. There's a huge crash behind. Gregory Vranks is off. We'll have to come back and revisit that. But Miguel Freitas takes 3 wins in a row. 4 out of 5 at the moment for Miguel Freitas. What a win. Alex Torres, is he going to hold on? Detige is going to try and get into the line. It's going to be so close, but it's just Torres from Detige. Lewis Ward is going to come home in 4th place. Conor Parisi's got up to 5th. What a drive that is. He'll be very happy with that. Woodhouse finishes 6th, exactly where he started. Delmont 7th, Fraser Smith 8th, Jez Banks 9th, Adam McNally finishing in 10th place. Let's have a quick look. Gregory Vranks is in the wall. Oh, there's a bit of a touch there. Oh, it's contact with Woodhouse. I want to know what happened to McNally, because McNally went off as well. What happened to Adam McNally? Into turn 1. Oh yeah, of course, he got involved in this mess, didn't he? Apologies. He got involved in all that. And then Vranks and Woodhouse made the contact in the end. And he's gone off track again, apparently, or has he just moved the car out of the way? Oh, he's not holding the brakes there. Car was rolling slightly. He does try and move it out of the way. That's a real shame, though, for it to end that way for some of these boys. There's a lot of cars just sat around. Here is Andy Hopley, who has just finished 12th in the race. And I'd say it's just about time for the results from race 1 of the night. And we should get... No. Come on. Do we get them? Do we get them? There we go. Right, I've figured it out now. Miguel Freitas wins the race from Alex Torres, and Matthias Titij rounds out the podium. Lewis Ward, championship leader, finishes 4th with Conor Parisi in 5th place. He'll be happy with that. Then it's all the Brits. We've got Mark Woodhouse, Adam Delmont, Fraser Smith, Jez Banks, and Adam McNally rounds out your top 10, followed by Edward May in 11th and Andy Hopley in 12th. Then we have Vincent Chaucenet in 13th with Ben Thayens in 14th, Jeremy Hessel's 15th. Dean Timms takes the win in the AM class. I am sorry that I've missed that, but Brits Sim Sport get an AM class win. Well done to Dean. Then Khan Newen finishes 17th. Rashid Kasim down in 18th place after a bit of a rough and tumble race in that one. Just trying to get it to move over now to the next screen. There we go. Okay. Behind them then, Scott Malcolm 19th, Andy Fox 20th, the last car on the lead lap. Gregory Vranks finishes 21st with Lee Woodburn 22nd, Sebastian Denise 23rd, Carl Jacquelet 24th, Philip Hopley 25th, followed by Dave Cyrus, Steve Clays, Liam Silkstone. And for some reason it won't flick over to the next page again. This is loads of fun, isn't it? Here you go, ready? Here's the next page. Then it's Carl Jacquelet, Philip Hopley, Dave Cyrus, Steve Clays, Liam Silkstone, and Ryan Walker, rounding out the final position. So it's going to be time once again then for us to get the second session underway. So if you join me, let's say about 5 minutes time, we'll have race 2 of the evening for you. I'm just going to shut the music up now, go to an ad break, and we'll see you in a little bit.
like two fires, movement so graceful. Wildcat in the jungle with dangerous claws. Movement she anticipates, a sight is set on her prey. Like stars in the darkest night, crystallize, fascinate. If you wanna stay alive, if you don't wanna be her prey, don't stand in her way. Run, run, run away. Crystallize, 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 watching her prey. Crystallize, crystallize, crystallize.
Just getting into the second session of the night now then, and we will have the next qualifying session away for you. Of course, 10 minutes this time rather than 20, as you see in the first race, so less time for these boys to put in their best efforts, of course, and try and get pole position. Will Freitas do it again? We'll have to wait and see, won't we? See you in a few.
When I think of the future, I think of the men and machines and friends and ideas and philosophy and spirit. Men and machines. Men and machines. When I think of the future, I think of the men and machines and friends and ideas and philosophy and spirit.
Welcome back, everybody, to Simracersworld TV and the 8th round of the Simracersworld TCR series. I am Chaz Draycott, here to, well, call the shots in the darkness, as you can see here. Fantastic first race. Once again, a win for Miguel Freitas. The guy's untouchable, honestly. Really, really flying at the moment. And I can't wait to have more issues when it comes to the overlay, because it's all loads of fun. So as you can see, very, very simple circuit ahead of us. However, these guys aren't making it look simple, I'll tell you that. So, we've only got a couple of cars that have qualified so far. Miguel Freitas just going around the final corner, tries to get as little of that AstroTurf as possible, rubs it all the way up there. You hear the noise just getting louder and louder, higher and higher pitched. Cross line he goes. Andy Fox is fastest, 53.2. And I've just been informed that the championship points have been updated. Let's have a gander. Lewis Ward still leads the way, 379 points. Connor Parisi second, 352. Matthias Dettige has gone up to third on 338, and he is only 4 points ahead of Adam McNally, who is then 2 points ahead of Miguel Freitas. And they're about 70 points clear of Ben Thayens then, so there's 5 guys that are really breaking away at the moment. And no, I don't want a burger. In the AM category, of course, Lee Demon not with us tonight because he said he doesn't like the track. And Carl Jacquelet is second, only 11 points behind him now. And then 9 points back from him in third is Dean Timms, Carl Newen in fourth, and Liam Silkstone in fifth. So it's all very, very close up and down in both championships. You really do have to rev these cars a lot, Ollie. It's not a joke, mate. We'll go on board with someone who's just about to get up to high speed. Here we go. Listen to it now. Listen to the rasp. This is Lee Woodburn in the 213 car for Venomworks Excite Audio. Not related to Excite Energy iRacing. Brilliant, brilliant cars, these things. Really, really do like them. They're a heck of a lot of fun. But as you can see, there, well, as you can't see, as I was going to say, that is Lee Woodburn there. Scott Malcolm goes fastest. Scott with a 52.9. Good job by Scott there to get his time in. He's gone straight on though at turn 1 and gives them all a little kiss. Andy Fox is currently 3rd in the privateer car. We'll go on board with him, just see how much you can see when you're on board. Of course, they light up the track pretty well, these things. To be honest, Stephen, it's the fact it sounds like they're on the limiter so much, it's actually a bit of a glitch in the delay from the info that's obviously sent to my sim as a spectator. They'll just be getting to the limiter as they change up, but it's just a little delay in the gear change just makes it sound like they do rev it out a bit more. But yeah, it's not the brightest of tracks to be racing around. Oh, there's a surprise. Look who's gone top. Miguel Freitas top for Team Mad at the moment. Of course, his teammate Scott Malcolm 2nd. Wow, Jess Banks giving us a little drifting show behind him there. Yeah, that's it, Lewis. Lewis, Louis, Mr. Hankey, whatever you want to be called. Andy Fox is actually top of the AM class at the moment. Sorry, mate. It's kind of my job to provide information and, you know, talk. So I kind of hope I beat you to it, but fair play. You typed it quickly. I'll give you that. 1 championship point to Mr. Hanker. Someone that's going to be hoping for a bit of a bet around here is Adam McNally. Yes, Ollie, Mr. Hankey. That's his new name. That's his new nickname. So we've got Clog Champ and Mr. Hankey. We need one for you now. So Adam, of course, as you could see in the YouTube chat not long ago, not the happiest bunny about being, as he called it, punted out of a top 4. Of course, a bit of a bang and a shove going on between these boys, so you can understand that he won't be too pleased. Just in front of him on track there is the number 206 car. That is Philip Hopley, who we didn't see much of in race 1 in the Meraki racing car. McNally's got a good run down the straight. Gives him a bit of a push. One more championship point than he has in the GT3 series. Wow, burn. Philip Hopley completely sideways around turn 1. Doesn't get in Adam McNally's way, so McNally is through and safe. Vincent Chassenet is currently 14th at the moment, just about to come across the line. Flies across the line. Does he improve? He does. 53.440 puts him in 11th position at the moment. Carl Jacquelet will be hoping for more this round. Of course, with Lee Deemer not racing, Carl really needs to get as many points as he can in the AM Championship to take that championship lead. It's easy to do, Fraser. Don't you worry, mate. Don't you worry. Best of luck in this one, my friend. We'll be watching. Mark Woodhouse there. He didn't have the smoothest of race ones, to be fair. As things stand at the moment, Mark Woodhouse is sitting 9th in the championship on 234 points. 145 points. Oh, and he's in 13th place as well when he had that spin, and that's unlucky for some. He's 145, I've said it again, points behind championship leader. Of course, that man, Lewis Ward from Meraki Racing, who is just sat in the pits at the moment. But that is the end of the practice session to get these boys in. So, you know when I was saying about right, been qualifying? Yeah, it's not. I do know who Mr. Hankey is, yes, Stephen. That's part of the point, really. We like to give controversial nicknames in this broadcast, or I do anyway. I do want to reiterate that any opinions given are mine and not that of Simracersworld or any of the admins that run it. Don't worry, Fraser. It happens, mate. It's racing. If you're pushing hard, you know, there may be the odd incident here or there. We're looking at Rashid Kasim at the moment, who is getting out of the way. Alex Torres is pulling in front. But this is the start of qualifying now. So as you can see, They can't drive in a straight line. Everyone weaving, warming up the tyres. Nobody wants to be right at the front, to be fair. No one wants to be providing the slipstream for everybody else. So this is a very interesting time in the session. Alex Torres then will be the one to lead them over the line. Here he goes for 10th Factory Sim Races. We'll go on board and see how he does. Oh yeah, definitely got off easy with the technical analyst then, Stephen. Oh, Alex Torres backs out of it. And that was Connor Parisi going through to take the charge up the front. Big slide for Connor Parisi around turn 1. That's the rallycross approach, that one. Great save from the American there. Of course, these things will still have cold rear tyres, so the grip at the back of the car might not be there. It may put the front where you want it, but you'll be dragging the rear around for the ride. Wonder what the chopper cam looks like on this, but it's quite interesting. There we go. Around the final corner behind all the trees. Oh, he's gone way too deep as Connor Parisi. Way too deep. Tyres to Tige on a lap as well. Oh, that's Andy Hopley going off the track. Oh, there's no discipline, Lewis. No discipline. Rashid Kassim goes fastest. Vincent, Torres, Jacqueline, Delmont and Smith slot in the middle as well. Hopley, De Tige, Freitas all getting involved. Miguel Freitas hasn't gone fastest straight away. I'm disappointed in you, Miguel. I can't even say your name properly, sorry. Carl Jacqueline goes, importantly, fastest in the AM class in 9th position. I say that. Dave Cyrus goes 3rd for XI Energy Orange. Very well done. Jez Banks goes into 2nd. There's the drifting at turn 1 that we all know and love. Oh, as Dave joins one of the Rev Match cars in the wall there. Vincent Chaussenet has gone 3rd for WRT Esport. There's some fantastic battles going on at the moment, though, up and down these championships. Yeah, I believe Connor was a pro. What's him call it? Rallycross driver. He's friends with Jake Robertson, who is also the same. Jake not here tonight. Gregory Vranks goes on to pole. Adam McNally just behind him there. Very close between these boys. Look at all this field. Wow, okay, who was that? I believe that might have been Mark Woodhouse going straight on. It was. Mark has, yeah. About that. Vincent Chaussenet going across the line. Does not improve. Woodburn goes fastest in the AM category there. 12th position overall. Lee also going straight on at turn 1. Off into the distance. Dean Timms is just cracking on at the moment down the back straight. Might have got a bit of slipstream off that car on the right hand side. Parisi goes 4th. Malcolm goes 6th. Freitas is 3rd. Smith goes 6th. De Tige goes into 3rd. Hopley goes into 2nd. The times are tumbling down from these boys. Lewis Ward goes 4th. Fraser Smith 9th. Dean Timms into 22nd place. Edward May is in 8th at the moment in car 7. Still the top AM car at the moment, Lee Woodburn. Thayans goes up to 7th. It's non-stop. There's just constant streams of cars coming past. What we could probably do is just sit on a pit lane camera. Oh, there you go, look at that. So, pretty much all of the field, if I show you the track map, there you go, there's the field going through. You can see they're all just in one big train. Look at that. It sounds great as well. Franks goes top, Delmont 2nd. May goes 2nd now. Ward goes 2nd. Nobody can beat that time by Gregory Franks. There's 6,000ths between Franks and Ward. Carl Newen goes top in the AM category. We could just stick on this camera forever. It's brilliant. What do we all think of that? You get to see them all flying across the line. It is a slipstream fest, and now we've got a huge wait. Next car round is going to be Fraser Smith. The numbers on the track map are what position they're in the session. So here's Fraser Smith in 12th place. He's going on to a fast lap. Look at the lighting effect there. It looks brilliant, doesn't it? There's 8th place, Miguel Freitas. Surely next time we see him, he's going to put it on pole. Here's some more then. Here's the next group. Let's see, can Gregory Vranks improve? He is fastest at the moment. Wow, they're side by side there. Two of the Meraki cars pretty much stuck together down the straight. Maybe trying to get some side draft or something. Doesn't look like anyone's improving at the moment. I say that, watch someone go top now. No, it's really not. No personal bests for any of these boys. Oh, Jez Banks into 11th place there. Are we all happy with this camera or what? I hope you are, because I'm enjoying this. It's just a nice way to keep your eye on everybody. You can just watch on the track map and wait for him to come by. Here's Fraser Smith then. Jack Colette's gone fastest in the AM category as well, actually. I missed that before. There goes Smith, 13th. Hi there, Jack. How you doing, mate? Good to see you. And I'm glad you're enjoying the camera, Mr. Hankett. I'm just loving this. This is where you'd be. Oh, the Tige goes fastest, 52.5. Delmont fastest, 52.4. Vranks goes back up to second. Hopley goes down to 5th. Ward goes second again. Amazing. They're all just popping in these times now. See a lot of the guys setting other times that aren't their personal bests. Banks goes up to 7th with a 52.778. It's so close in here. Wow, there's a lot of personal bests there. Torres, Thayens and Kasim. Let's just have a look at the gap between the whole field. Look at that. Half a second covers the top 10. 0.8 of a second covers the top 20. Amazing. Across the line there. That was Freitas, goes up to 7th. Delmont's involved in there as well. Freitas then has improved. May improves, stays in the same position in 6th place. It's such a short track, it's got to be really difficult to improve. Clay's 18th there with a 53.1. It is a slipstream-a-thon. Oh, Vincent goes up into 7th there. Vincent Chaussonnet, nice work. Thayens 13th, Kasim 11th. 7th without any draft. Indeed. What an animal indeed, Vincent Chaussonnet. Oh, I think he might have had a bit of slipstream. There's a great pack of cars going on here. Freitas does improve again, goes only 6th though. However, like you say, he does not have any slipstream at the moment. He's just absolutely flying. Steve Clays has improved, he's 19th. Carl Jacquelette's still leading the AM category, down in 15th position. Yeah, sorry Hanker, I didn't realise. That's my bad, that is. Oh, Thayens goes up to 12th now. Oh, Jacquelette goes up to 8th. Brilliant stuff. Torres goes top. Alex Torres, the Spanish Inquisition. I'm not sure whether he minds that nickname or not, but yeah, definitely Ian, you're right there actually, if he does go a bit further down the order. We've got over 20 viewers at the moment. Hello everybody. Thank you very much for joining us on this wonderful Tuesday night. I know there's a very important red line team race going on with Nicky Team involved, but I'm glad that you've chosen to be here. Very glad indeed. Look at this group of cars. I can't tell you who it is because I can't recognise any of them. But everyone wants to be the car receiving the slipstream. Edward May goes 6th. Parisi goes 9th. Khan Newen goes 16th. Still nowhere near Carl Jacquelette. But this is Torres, Jacquelette. One of the Excite cars in there as well. That's number 202, I believe. That's Dave Cyrus. Wow, who's that Rev Match car going absolutely flying? Well, it's not Steve Clays. Has to be Ben Thayens. Flying off the circuit he goes. This is the end of qualifying now, so what we'll do is go back to the pit lane camera and we'll watch them all come through, shall we? I'm really enjoying using these cameras. Might have to do a few more of these. Into the pits, some of these boys. Any improvements from anybody? Any improvements? Doesn't look like it. Gregory Vranks crosses the line. Nothing. Khan Newen goes to 15th. And oh, well, all the cars just suddenly disappear. And that will mean the end of qualifying for the second race tonight. Scott Malcolm was the last car on track there. Good evening, Anton. Thank you very much, Jack. I really do appreciate that, mate. I appreciate it a lot. It's currently just looks like a black screen because that's pretty much what we've got. Race 1, Anton, was absolutely fantastic. Plenty of battling up and down the order. A lot of these guys really struggling to break away from anything. So fingers crossed. Once the session ticks over in a second, you'll see the overlay do its thing. And we will have a grid readout for you. And there it is. And here it is. Alex Torres puts it on pole then alongside Adam Delmont. Fantastic stuff by those boys. Lewis Ward in third with Gregory Franks in fourth, Matthias Titij in fifth and Edward May sixth. Andy Hopley seventh with Miguel Freitas down in eighth position. Conor Parisi ninth with Carl Jacquelet top of the AM category in 10th. Vincent Chaucenet 11th with Rashid Kassim in 12th, followed by Jez Banks and Adam McNally in 14th. Carl New in 15th, Ben Thay in 16th, followed by Fraser Smith and Andy Fox on the 9th row of the grid, with Scott Malcolm and Steve Clays rounding out your top 20. Mark Woodhouse down in 21st position, he won't be happy with that. Dean Timms 22nd with Lee Woodburn and Dave Cyrus 23rd and 24th. And rounding out the back of the field is Philip Hopley, Jeremy Hessels, Sebastian Denise and Ryan Walker. So we've got a very exciting race ahead of us here. There is Adam Delmont second on the grid. Good for him to get a front row. I'm just going to do my usual and shut the music up at this point. We'll have a look back. You can see the cars quite spread out on this grid. It's quite a large grid. We're just waiting for Andy Hopley to take to the grid. Alex Torres now sits the car on pole, and I do have to apologise in advance for this one. If there are cars that I cannot recognise at first, do forgive me. They are just going to be headlights. Oh, Fraser's not happy. Fraser is not happy. But any second now, then, we're just waiting for Steve Clays to take to the grid. You can see a spot on the left of the grid where he should be. Just there between Scott Malcolm, and there is Mark Woodhouse. And once the pop's on the grid, then we'll be all good to go. Mark has got a lot of work to do from back there, though. So fingers crossed he can make his way through the order. And it looks like the lights are going to come on without Steve Clays. So then, round 8 of the Simracersworld TCR series is away. Oh, Andy Hopley's gone flying down the order. Andy Hopley's disappeared. Really not sure what's happened there. Alex Torres leads them into turn 1, then Delmont on the inside of Ward. Let's keep our eye out for any contact further down the order. Looks all right. There's a bit of a shove there. One of the cars has gone off. That is Fraser Smith. He wasn't happy to begin with, and now he's had a bit of a tap and he's run wide at turn 1 onto the grass. Tries to make his way back through. Oh, shoves it down the inside. There was no need. It was straight away into the side of Mark Woodhouse, and he's been collected by Ryan Walker, and the rear wheels come off it. He's had a nightmare as Fraser Smith. He went for a move. It was a bit early to go for it. As, oh wow, Edward May just goes for a move as well there, coming into the Parabolica. I believe that was Lewis Ward and Adam Delmont he was trying to overtake there, and he's lost out slightly from it. Just on the back of him there is, sorry, that's for Gregory Franks on the front of him. Just ahead, Ward and Delmont side by side. Alex Torres is out in front. Titij trying to get involved in this as well. Into turn 1 they go. It's Ward down the inside. Oh, Edward May's gone well too hot in there. There's contact. Manages to keep the car pointing the right way. Alex Torres. Torres has gone off. Torres has gone off at turn 1. The race leader has gone into the wall, I believe, and lost positions because of it. There's a bit of contact in front, and now he's down outside of the top 10 in 11th place. Unbelievable development there. Lewis Ward leads the race. His fan club will just going mental. Pops and bangs on the overrun, and he's going to be clear at the moment. Edward May is now the guy with all this to do. He's gained 4 places off the start up into second. He's having a good run. But he's got Adam Delmont behind him, and Adam is going to be hungry for points here. Then it's the 2 Simracersworld Esports TCR cars of Titij and Franks. Yeah, good guy Lewis points him in the right direction. Love that. Love that. Oh, they're all a bit late on the brakes there. That could have got very messy. Look at them all trying to brake as late as they dare for turn 1. Hessels has done the fastest lap. Jacquelet, no, Carl Jacquelet is going down the order. Carl Jacquelet had a chance to gain so many points on Lee Deemer in the AM category. It's a questionable rejoin. Oh, who's that off? Is that Rashid Kassim? It is. Rashid's off as well. Oh, look at that. Carl seems to have lost it on his own. I don't know whether he got help. Oh, Rashid gets a tap from one of the WRT eSport cars. Those boys have made a bit of a name for themselves so far this season. Bumping and banging. Oh, Dettige is off the circuit now as well. It's all kicking off. Miguel Freitas goes down the inside. Side by side down the straight they go, nearly making contact. Oh, Ryan's not too chuffed in the chat. Everyone going really late on the brakes. I don't really know if there was a lot he could have done there, Ryan, in all honesty. Oh, there's a car off. Is that Edward May? It is. Edward drops down the order now as well. People are getting it so wrong at turn 1. But yeah, hold your brakes, folks. Ollie gets it absolutely right. If you are in an incident, you do need to hold your brakes and make sure that you don't roll back into the racing line. We need to have a quick look and see. Here's the Ryan Walker incident then. Let's go on board and have a look. Look at all the bunching around them. Cars everywhere. It's around the outside of, I believe, Dean Timms there. Fraser's gone down the inside of Mark Woodhouse, gets turned. Oh yeah, the car just rolls backwards. Ryan, nowhere really to go there. So there's race leader Lewis Ward just in front of Delmont. Delmont's gone hot into turn 1, manages to get it stopped. Franks is third. Oh, there's cars off in the background. Edward May. I don't think it was Edward that's gone. Jez Banks coming back on the circuit. Somebody went flying off the track there. I think it might have been Jez Banks. This is Carl Jacquelet. We don't want to... Oh, Carl seems to have gone straight on. Oh no, he's just gone hot. Trying to find out who that was that went off track. They're all just silhouettes to me at the moment. Who's lost a lot of places? Carl has, but he had an incident earlier. Freitas is down to 8th. I think it might have been Miguel, you know. He's got McNally in front of him now. Well, this is so close between these two guys. Very high up there in the championship. Franks does the fastest lap of the race. Purple sectors like all the fog lights down the straight. For some reason they're bright purple. Kassim does the fastest lap of the race. 52.5. Oh, McNally sideways in turn 1. Freitas does well not to go into him. Carl Jacquelet's having another nightmare. Where is he? He's gone straight on at turn 1. Not sure whether he got a hand. Here we go. Does he get any help? Who was that behind him? Oh, it was Mark Woodhouse. He gets a tap and he goes into the wall as well. Bigger incident than we thought. There was a good scrap going on just ahead here. This is Mark Woodhouse. He's got Scott Malcolm just in front of him. Just ahead of him is Jez Banks. Rashid Kassim in there as well. Yeah, Jeremy Hessels, it has to be said, doing a great job. 15 places gained at the moment. Here you go on the left-hand side to see that. Look at him. No one else even in double figures yet. Sebastian Denise has got 9 places gained. But Jeremy Hessels, well done that man. And he's in a bit of clear air at the moment, so he's got plenty of time to get his job done. He will stick for this battle for just a second, though. Nicely spotted there, Stephen, the technical analyst himself, giving us the news as it goes on. Thank you very much, Jeremy. I've got eBay asking me for feedback on something I ordered. Now is not the time. Adam Delmont has actually taken the race lead as well, so there's me paying full attention. Fraser Smith has apparently crashed. He's had more of a nightmare now. What's happened here? It's a bit of a lonely race at the moment for Fraser Smith in the 67 car. Onto the brakes. Oh, way too hot in there. Spins the car, doesn't hit anything by the sound of it. Lewis Ward has gone back into the race lead now on Adam Delmont, so we've got a fantastic scrap going on here. We go back to the beautiful chopper cam. Let's have a look and see what we can spot. We'll have a look at Franks because he's in the middle of this. There's Parisi behind him. Delmont's going to go to the inside of Lewis Ward. He's showing his nose. He's putting the pressure on. Franks just needs a nice, smooth run. And indeed, Dave Cyrus is leading the AM category for XI iRacing Orange. Very well done to Dave. Let's hope he keeps it up. Parisi, fastest lap of the race. Delmont down the inside of Ward into turn 1. Brakes a little bit later, just gets the car in front. And he goes into the lead. The top 6 there, all in frame. Maybe the top 7 as well. No, Freitas is a little bit further back. Torres has done well to come back from this, actually. He was outside the top 10 earlier. So Torres is going to have a good view of all of this. Great scrap going on. We have 28 viewers at the moment. Thank you, everybody, for your attendance tonight. You're in for some great racing now, because watch these lot slipstream each other down the straight. Can the blimp cam do anything better? There you go. Look at all those silhouettes. For the lead, though, Lewis Ward trying to get past Adam Delmont. Oh, that makes me feel ill, that. Torres down the inside. Frank's playing it safe. Brakes a little bit early. Torres a little bit sideways there. Just manages to stay in front, though. It's like watching Micro Machines, isn't it? It's brilliant. They're all so close together. That's the top 6 of the race. It's brilliant. Awesome racing from these guys. Such respect as well, as we've seen all season. There may have been contact here and there in certain races, but none of it intentional, and that's part of the beauty of it. So this is your race lead battle. There is 6 cars in there. It only looks like about 3, but there they go. They spread out. Alex Torres is on the back of this. Freitas is gradually catching them. But the beauty of this track is the slipstream keeping them all together. Now Delmont's clearly going to go for the lead as well. Franks might have a look at it. Parisi is also one to watch. Edward May's doing a good job in 5th. Fastest lap of the race again for Miguel Freitas. Franks braking early, plays it safe again. That's all you need to do at this point. You don't need to go for the lead yet, because you'll just be giving everyone else slipstream. Although he's got his nose down the inside of Ward, and now Parisi has pried the door open. Maybe a bit of a tap round there in the junior section. And Edward May has gone through into 4th position. Parisi down to 5th. And Freitas is on the back of this as well. Then Adam McNally, you can see him, was just nearest to the camera there. Gradually sneaking through. Just oh so careful now. The 2 Iberians against each other. It's the tame Iberian and the Spanish Inquisition. Torres is on the inside. He's staying in the slipstream, making sure Miguel doesn't get it. He gives him plenty of room, goes over to the right, and this is fun to watch, isn't it, Stephen? This is awesome. I do want to have a look at some of the battles a bit further down the order. I do apologise. But up at the front is getting properly feisty. Lewis Ward in the back of Adam Delmont there, I'm pretty sure. Franks and May were side by side as well. Oh, Torres in the wall. Torres is in the wall hard. Big hit. And I believe Alex Torres' day is done. Oh, what a nightmare. Dave Cyrus has apparently crashed as well. Dave has lost the lead in the AM category. Carl Jacolette has taken it off him. Let's have a look at what's happened here first, and then we'll go back. So Torres goes down the inside of Parisi. Doesn't make it work. Freitas gets alongside. Oh, Torres just squeezes him. Doesn't realise he's there. The wheel snaps off. And it's a nightmare for Alex Torres. And Dave Cyrus was there around as well. Oh, you're not going to be able to rejoin easily there, Dave. Let's have a quick look at what came about for Dave Cyrus. I'm going to keep my eye on the battle for the lead. Lewis Ward currently leading the race. Franks has just dropped a little bit. Not sure why this is rewinding so much. I have set it to only 10 seconds, not 20. Oh, Dave just goes too hot, puts a wheel on the grass and the car goes around. He does really well not to hit anything, to be honest. Does a cracking job. But here's your race lead then. There's a back marker there in front of these guys. I think it is Andy Fox. So he could come into play here. But look at this scrap for the lead. This is beautiful. It brings us back memories of Brands Hatch, round 1. We saw some awesome racing. And I tell you what, you would have thought this wouldn't be a good car-track combo, especially at night, but this is brilliant. Really good fun to watch. We've got Delmont down the inside now. Oh no, not again! Oh, Ward and May. Ward gets turned around and it's happened again. Delmont flying down the order. Same with Lewis Ward, championship leader. I think Edward May just got too close to the back of him and he was just late on the brakes. A tiny bit of contact. Yeah, he's just late on the brakes, turns in and it just pops Delmont across. I mean, it was a good shot, but real shame for it to happen that way once again. Now Gregory Franks is going to be eyeing up his win. First win in the series, I believe. Oh, the move out from the slipstream then by Gregory Franks unsettles the back of May's car. Conor Parisi trying to be a hero down the inside. Oh, there's more contact with Edward May there. Oh, and Franks has got across the front of Parisi. A bit of a tap there. I'm not sure whether that would have damaged his car. Parisi's now got Freitas behind. Freitas could get a win here, you know, with all this going on. Jeremy Hessel's 19 places gained. 10 places gained for Ben Thayens just in front of him, and 12 for Mark Woodhouse, 12 for Sebastian Denise as well. But wow, Jeremy Hessel's gaining 19 positions in this race. Take a bow, son. Get some clap emojis in the chat, please. It was a bit of a silly move, Ollie, and honestly, it's not a reason to hate a track. It's just people trying to drive it to the best of their ability. It's not the circuit's fault. Kasim has just gone past Jez Banks here down the inside, coming out of Parabolica as well. And Franks takes the lead. Edward May still side by side. Edward likes going late on the brakes here, doesn't he? All these boys trying to brake as late as possible. Gregory stuck to the back of him. Thank you for the clap emojis, boys. Much appreciated. Of course, for Jeremy Hessels as well. Really deserves the shout out. Delmont doing his best lap of the race, and he's in 16th position, so he must have some clear air or something down there. But here's the view back from Edward May's car at Gregory Franks. Miguel Freitas back on the podium again. His worst finish in a race this season is second. Miguel Freitas. So here comes Gregory Franks then on the run. We're going to cross the white line, go right to the pit wall. Gregory sneaks through. Well, it wasn't very sneaky, was it? Let's face it. There's nothing subtle about a bright orange Audi RS3. Edward late on the brakes again. He's really good at getting the car stopped there, but obviously Adam Delmont would disagree. So would Lewis Ward. This is still the top 5 for the entire race. Conor Parisi on the back of this, watching it. Just in front of him there is Adam McNally. You can see the ASG UK logo on the back of the Excite Energy iRacing car. Still on 28 viewers as we stand. I hope you're all enjoying the show. Don't forget, of course, to subscribe to the channel to see more broadcast in future. Oh, late on the brakes there, Parisi. I think he just gave McNally a bit of a kiss. They're going to get a good run out of the corner, but not ideal for him there. We've still got 10 minutes of this race to go. We're only 15 minutes in. It's absolutely flying. There is stewarding, yes, Ollie, there is. I don't believe they're live stewards, but the pretty much every incident gets looked at. Oh, and Edward May's around. Edward May's got a taste of his own medicine by the look of it. Into the wall he goes. And he's going to be absolutely gutted. Let's have a look at what happened. So he's got Franks behind him. 3 wide. Oh, Franks goes to turn in, and it's the tiniest of touches. Really unsettles the car. Takes a cone with him as an innocent victim. That's a shame. But look who's in the lead. Miguel Freitas. Back to the front, overtakes Gregory Franks down towards the Parabolica. And I tell you what, I'd love to watch Jeremy Hessels get to the front of this. 21 places gained, and he's only there. Although he's got his hands full at the moment with Ben Thayens all over the back of him. But this is the battle for the race lead then. Miguel Freitas leading. Gregory Franks and Adam McNally back up there as well now. He's going to be a lot happier with that position. Up into second down the inside of Franks. Jacqueline still leading the AM category. Dean Timms second. Woodburn in third. They are 11th, 13th and 18th in the race, respectively. And yes, F's in chat, please, for paying your respects for the cone that got taken out innocently in the incident. You can see in the background there, Jeremy Hessel's trying to weave to get rid of the slipstream. It's not always the best method, of course. Further back, we've got Dean Timms, Adam Delmont, and Scott Malcolm having a scrap here. Scott Malcolm leading these 3. Dean stuck in the middle. Not going to say anything about clowns and jokers. Back to the front, Freitas, Franks, McNally still having this scrap. Oh, Franks has left the door open there. Down the inside goes Conor Parisi. They're side by side now into turns 2 and 3. Not quite. Conor gets out of it. Thinks better of it. Stays in 4th, holding on to the slipstream. Oh, Sebastian Denise has gone down the order, dropped a couple of places there, not quite sure why. Very strange indeed. Yeah, Freitas is definitely the fastest car on track, no disrespect to anyone else, but he just plays it so safe all the time. He doesn't take any risks. He's just a very calculated driver, does a cracking job. Thayens and Hessel's having a scrap as well. Sorry if that camera made you feel sick then, it nearly made me fall off my chair. Carl Jacquelet has just gone past Jez Banks as well. These two side by side down the straight. Carl Jacquelet leading the AM class at the moment, so he doesn't need to get involved in this fight. But we've seen this season, Carl doesn't give it up against anybody at all. No matter who you are, Carl will fight you on track. It's fearless racing. They're still side by side. Oh, that was very close to some contact there. Very close indeed. Thayens and Hessel's still going at it. They've got Vincent Chaussenet behind them. 13 places gained by Mark Woodhouse as well in 8th position. He's a bit under the radar at the moment. Ben goes deep into the Parabolica. He doesn't actually. He holds it quite well to the inside. It looked like the car was just bobbling wide as they do. At the front, Freitas has McNally right up his exhaust at the moment. Not sure how welcome he is to the idea, but he's going to want to defend this as best he can. McNally gets the back end slightly out there. Manages to save it and keep some good momentum, you know. Gregory Franks still holding on to 3rd. Thayens and Hessel's still having their scrap. Jeremy's being completely sandwiched here between the Frenchman and the Belgian. We've got a fantastic mix of nationalities in the top 7 positions at the moment. We've got a Portuguese driver leading the race, and we've got the British Adam McNally, the Belgian Gregory Franks, Conor Parisi from America, another Belgian in Ben Thayens, the Dutch Jeremy Hessels and Chaussenet Vincent. Sorry, Vincent Chaussenet is French. And here is the Belgian and the American. Conor Parisi down the inside. Down the straight they go, and he slots just in front. Sounds like a bad joke, really, doesn't it? Portuguese man of Britain and American walk into turn 1 at Monza on the brakes. Oh, they're all starting to slide around now. The car really not responding as McNally wants it there. Oh, Thayens is dropped down as Hessels goes down the inside. Vincent Chaussenet getting involved, and Mark Woodhouse, I said he was a bit under the radar, but he's very much on the radar now, just behind these guys. Rashid Kassim is the next car back, and then Jez Banks rounding out your top 10. Dean Timms looks quite safe in the AM category at the moment for 2nd place. He's got Lewis Ward a good 2 seconds back from him, and Sebastian Denise just ahead. Thayens and Hessel's, oh, there's contact. Hessel's down the inside, gives Thayens a bit of a tap. Not quite sure how justified it was. But another great scrap, and still 4.5 minutes of this race to go. Plenty of time for it all to still kick off. Not that it could kick off any more than it has. I mean, it's been mad. Hessel's there. Thayens goes very wide into turn 1, really making sure that Chaussenet doesn't get a chance to cut through. And Hessel's doing a great job at holding this position at the moment. Thayens showing some real pace, though. Oh, he's managed to open a gap there on the left-hand side. Hopefully there isn't contact. Jeremy gives him all the room in the world. He says, this is my inside line, you are not coming over here. Onto the brakes then. So close to each other as they go round. Lewis doesn't care, he's just saying, I'm going to clap no matter who wins. Wow, Ben very aggressive down the inside. Jeremy cuts across, doesn't let him have any of it. Parisi and McNally, wow. Oh no, this car stopped pretty much in the middle of the track. Who's doing that? That was Carl Newen trying to get out of the way. I don't know whether he got more in the way by doing that then. Unreal stuff, but McNally and Parisi, I thought that was Parisi sending it on Freitas, but it was Freitas trying to overtake a lapped car. Oh, and we cut to Woodhouse and he's been hit sideways. That's Vincent Chaussenet. What happened here, boys? Side by side. Vincent just in front of Mark. Mark goes through. Turns in. Oh, Chaussenet's still there. Very narrow bit of track that. Very difficult to fight on. Thayens and Hessel still having this scrap. I think we'd all like to see Jeremy get a top 5. But if Hessels manages to not quite beat Ben, I think it'll be a very well-deserved top 5 for him as well. He's really put up a fight, and he's in the car number 5 as well. Around the outside into turn 1, Jeremy really trying everything. Just behind him, Kasim and Vincent side by side. Oh, Vincent turns across, doesn't leave any room for Rashid to go. Rashid comes back on, side by side them, just there is, behind them is Mark Woodhouse and Carl Jacquelet. Carl really doesn't want to get too involved in this. Of course, he needs to think about his AM-class lead. It's really kicking off. I said it would, and it really is. Here's the blimp cam, a bit far away for my liking. Here's the chopper cam, a little bit closer. Kasim now, Woodhouse right behind him. Gives him a little bit of a tap on the rear. Really unlucky, Alex. Real shame that is, mate. We don't like to see it. Good scrap between these guys, though. All playing it safe at the moment. Apparently Jeremy Hessels entered the pit lane then. He was that close to the line. Oh, there's more contact. Rashid moved over in the braking zone slightly. Mark's giving him 2-3 kisses on the rear now at the moment. But another fantastic scrap in the midfield. This track has really thrown up some awesome racing. Of course, we've seen a bit of unnecessary contact into turn 1. This is Ben Thanes with Jeremy Hessels just behind. Those customary pops and bangs on the overrun, absolutely love it. The battle for the lead is spread out a little bit, and it's looking like Freitas is going to win 5 out of 6 races that he's taken part in this season. Don't forget, of course, his worst finish this season has been 2nd place. Yeah, that first race looked like a real amount of fun, Alex. Very well done on that drive. Now down the inside goes Rashid Kasim. Oh, they're 3 wide now. That's Vincent Chosson in the middle. There's a bit of contact, bumping and banging. There's a Fury Sim Sports car around the outside. That's Jez Banks. Woodhouse trying to come through as well. Vincent Chosson has been completely freight trained there. Nearly turns across the nose of Jacquelet, but Carl playing it safe. I say that, it looks like he's going to go on the attack here. We'll go on board with Carl Jacquelet and show your workings, Carl, show your workings. Show us what your thought process is. Him and Vincent dicing around all over the track at the moment. Make sure that he gets the car stopped properly. He wants to get a good run out of here, and it looks like he's setting himself up for that. Twofold. He's going to try and get a bit of slipstream off Rashid, but he's a bit further away. We come on now to the final lap of the race, actually. Just down the inside. Carl's gone very wide into turn 1, anticipating a dive bomb. Jez Banks, oh, he's been hit, there's contact. Detige is in there, oh, and into the wall. I believe that was Scott Malcolm. No, it wasn't. It was Adam Delmont into the wall. Delmont got turned around. I do apologise, I couldn't see what had happened. Oh, they've crashed ahead on the straight. I did miss that, but out of the final corner, sorry, 5 from 6, Mikael Freitas, Connor Parisi, Adam McNally takes 3rd, Gregory Vranks in 4th, Jeremy Hessels, put your hands together, everybody, 21 places gained, Jeremy Hessels, 5th place, what a drive that is. Awesome stuff. Rashid Kasim finishes 6th with Vincent Chosson 7th. Carl Jacquelet wins the AM category again, that's what he needed to do to get points on Lee Diemer in the championship. And well, real shame, but Ben Thanes did indeed have an incident. We'll have to have a look at that. I missed that one. That is bad on me. Dean Timms finished 2nd in the AM category. Very well done to him. Dave Cyrus is going to get a podium for iRacing, sorry, XI Energy iRacing. Great result for him. There's Philip Hopley 19th with Lee Woodburn 20th, just across the line behind him. So we need to have a look back at what happened between Jeremy Hessels and Ben Thanes. So let's have a look. So Jeremy goes down the inside. Oh, Ben's just gone straight on. Ben's done that himself. And into the wall he goes. I don't really think we can point that to anyone else, to be honest with you. Apparently Lewis Ward is still on track. There he is. But the TV camera doesn't want to pick him up. Oh, that's because If anyone can tell me where he is, that's Lesmo 2. So Lewis Ward is doing the full Grand Prix circuit at the moment. Go on, son. Okay. So, here are your race results then for race 2. Miguel Freitas has won 5 out of 6 races that he's taken part in this championship, from 8th on the grid as well. Awesome stuff. And Mr. Hanker is telling me there was another crash. So, I am sorry, boys, but I missed that one. Adam Delmont was involved in the accident. Ah yes, apparently Ben Thanes did have another accident. No, apparently it looks like the same one. Yeah, looks like Ben Thanes had the same crash, just went straight on at turn 1. Can't see anything else on my event view by the look of it, guys. But there are your results there. Miguel Freitas from Connor Parisi and Adam McNally. Gregory Vranks finishes in 4th position, with Jeremy Hessels an awesome 5th place with 21 places gained, as we've said. Vincent Charcenet finishes in 7th place. Sorry, Rashid Kassim 6th. I missed that. Carl Jacolette wins the M category in 8th. Great drive from Carl. Jez Banks 9th, and Scott Malcolm rounds out the top 10. Then we have Mark Woodhouse in 11th with Matthias Detige in 12th. Lewis Ward in 13th, and Dean Timms 2nd in AM, 14th overall. Sebastian Denise finishes in 15th position with Ben Thayen 16th, Adam Delmont 17th, and Dave Cyrus in 18th place. Just trying to get this to go onto the next page, but apparently not. Awesome sauce. Sorry about this, guys. There's something not quite right with this here. It's not showing me the next page until I do that. I am sorry. So, Ben Thayens finishes 16th, ahead of Adam Delmont 17th, and Dave Cyrus, Philip Hopley, Lee Woodburn is the last car on the lead lap. Then we have Fraser Smith 21st, Carn Newen 22nd, Andy Fox 23rd, Edward May 24th, with Alex Torres unfortunately 17 laps down in 25th. Then it's Andy Hopley, Ryan Walker, and Steve Clays. And there was another bit of contact in front there on the last lap. That's what we might have missed, you know. Just saw it in the background there, didn't we? Wonderful stuff. So we're going to just see whether we can get the final page results up if there was anyone else. I have to do that bit by bit. No, there was no one else, so that's absolutely fine. So another crazy night of racing then behind us. And what a lot of fun that was. Going to look, see whether we've got anybody in the interview room. I believe we might have a couple of guys waiting, and as we do. And I tell you who we're going to bring in. Someone that we haven't actually interviewed in the series yet since we got underway. I'm very, very pleased to be joined by Connor Parisi. Connor, mate, how are we doing today? You alright?
Certainly better after that second race.
Yeah, I can imagine. It was a bit of a lively one, to say the least. That's the word I've been using for pretty much every round of the championship so far. How did it seem from your point of view then, doing it on such a short track at night?
It was certainly action-packed. I was just trying to stay patient and pick my battles and just be there at the end. Worked out pretty good both rounds, even though the first one didn't go quite to plan, but I'll certainly take the second place to Miguel.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, as you can probably appreciate, I mean, you won't probably take any offence at me saying it, but Miguel is quite the yardstick at the moment, isn't he, for you boys?
Yeah, he's wicked, wicked fast. I don't know what he's doing.
He's just the tame Iberian, they call him in Team Mad, but he's definitely got something figured out with the car. But how are you finding the series overall? Are you enjoying the racing with these guys?
Yeah, I've had a ton of fun. I've been looking to do some more TCR racing since it's just a wicked fun car to drive. And then, you know, these guys are pretty quick and for the most part race real clean. So just glad to.
Yeah, it's good to see you out there and getting so involved. To be honest with you, mate, I'm just trying to chuck my replay a bit further on because it's a little bit all over the place at the moment. There we go, that'll do. Now, of course, next week we have yet another race meeting, and you know, each week it's not a massive amount of time. Do you tend to practice a lot for each race?
I had exactly 3 laps of practice before today.
Oh wow!
Not quite enough. Maybe I could have something for Miguel if I'd sat down and put some effort in, but you know, just super busy and in real life stuff.
Yeah.
But hopefully, I don't even know where we are next week. Is it?
Zandvoort next week, so it's a circuit I've not even bought on iRacing yet, so I'm going to get my wallet out and purchase that one. Have you done any laps there before?
I gotta buy it too. It should be an interesting round.
Oh, definitely. Well, I'll probably be as new to it as you are at that point then, but it'll be interesting to see how you get on. It's been great to watch you though. You've been a very exciting driver, one of the best to watch, especially at Brands Hatch at the season opener, which I'm sure you enjoyed as well.
Nice to finally best Adam real quick in this one.
Yeah, very true. Well, it was good to speak to you, mate. Just before I let you go, and obviously I may speak to you next week as well, but is there anyone you want to give a shout out to?
I just gotta thank all the Jim B Esports guys. We got a lot of really cool real-world partners: Vision Wheel, Polaris Razor, General Tire, the Down and Dirty Radio Show, Four Wheel Parts, Dirtfish Rally School, Acronis, 07 Designs, Impact Helmets, Gibson Exhaust, GSP XTV Axles, Rigid Industries, and Sant Racing Fabrication. And thank you for broadcasting. It's always a good show to watch.
Thanks very much, mate. And I tell you what, you've got a list of sponsors there to rival that of Excite iRacing. I tell you what, that's a fair old list, that, but it just shows how good sim racing's getting now. It's a proper mark on the map. But good to speak to you, Connor, and hopefully I'll speak to you again at another race meeting soon.
Catch you soon.
Cheers. Connor Parisi there. What a top bloke. What a top guy. And speaking of top guys, someone that I have to see him in an interview room, and I can't say no. I have to interview him every single time, and I genuinely mean that. We have Adam McNally back in the booth with us. Adam, how are you doing, mate?
Good evening, Chaz. How's it going?
I'm not doing too badly, mate. Not doing too badly. I'm trying to strain my eyes to see all these cars in the dark and figure out who's who. How was it from your point of view, mate?
Race 1 was going great till 2 laps from the end. Same as last week, taken out of top 4 position.
Yeah.
Qualifying 2 just seems to just not go my way. Find myself down in the below 10th place, but managing to work my way back up to P3. Was happy with that. Seemed to have sort of roughly the same pace as Miguel. And he just started pulling away a little bit, and then Connor got past, and that was it. Just settled for 3rd.
Yeah, it was quite a feisty one, that second race. I mean, a lot of you guys, to be fair, I mean, you gained 6 places in the end. Actually, sorry, that's at the point where I'm in the replay now. That's my bad. Gaining that many places to get through the field, though, it's always quite a rewarding process, isn't it, when you find yourself a bit higher up, even if it is at the expense of others having a bit of an accident.
Oh yeah, definitely. Like I said, I wasn't in the best of moods of the race 1, and then qualifying not going my way. So just got my head down, went for it, see how many places I can make up, and managed to make up quite a few, to be honest with you, so happy days. Yeah,
definitely. Well, that's the key to it, get your head down, even though you've had an issue in race 1 or in qualifying, it's always best to just crack on, and it's good to see you doing that. I was just saying to Connor then, we're going to Zandvoort next week, and I haven't even bought that circuit yet. Is it somewhere that you've done laps before?
Yeah, I have, but not in this touring car. Should be an interesting race.
Yeah, it should be good fun to watch, to be honest. It's quite a technical circuit, isn't it?
It's got to be better than this one.
Well, I quite enjoyed tonight. I mean, from up here in the commentary box, it was a hell of a lot of fun, but I imagine it was... I know that turn 1 was a sticking point for a lot of people, because there's no brake markers that you can see anywhere, so...
And then race 2, so far through race 2, the grip just seemed to drop.
Yeah.
We've seen everyone run wide at turn 1.
Well, I actually noted it was you as well. The back end of that car was drifting around like mad through turn 1, so we saw you really wrestling it at some point, but obviously entertaining to watch as always. Before I let you go though, mate, is there anyone you want to give a shout out to for next week?
Yeah, just the usual. You for doing the broadcast, and Simracersworld for putting it all together. It's always great racing. Our drivers for taking part every week, and then also our sponsors. We've got Excite Energy, we've got Motorsport Days Live, Premature Baby Foundation, Racing Mentor, ASG UK, and that's it.
Cracking stuff, mate. Well, good to speak to you as always, Adam, and I'm sure if you pop in the interview room next week, we'll have another chat with you then.
I'll try coming in unless I have an absolute shocker. I just tend to go and hide.
Fair enough, mate. Fair enough. Speak to you next week, mate.
Right, thank you very much.
Cheers. And someone else that was also having a lot of fun in those races tonight. He's actually there on the screen with him as well, and now in the commentary box with him as well. Alex Torres joins us. Alex, how are you doing, mate?
Hi. Well, really a bit frustrated after last race, but by the way, I am so happy with today's races.
Yeah, it looked like a lot of fun out there. I was just saying to Adam, while it may not have been the easiest of places to race or drive around because of the lack of light and brake markers. It was a hell of a lot of fun from up here in the commentary box. Did you still find it fun from your point of view?
Yeah. I mean, the race was so good in the first race. Was so good with Matthias all the time fighting. And the last race, I made a pole, and I made a mistake in the second lap. So
Yes, yeah, actually you did. I forgot about that. I wasn't going to bring it up though, in all honesty. But you know, it's part of these things. You know, the rear tyres don't really warm up very quickly on these cars, do they? And it can get away from you quite quick.
yeah, exactly. I missed the break point of the first lap. There are two different break points with this car: the first lap break points and the second lap break points. And then you have all the race with the same break points. But I forget to brake in the correct mark. So yeah.
Fair enough.
When I touch the brake pedal, I know that I am going to touch the wall. So
yeah.
I try to minimize the damage, and I get it. But
Yeah.
then I have that crash with Miguel. That in another circuit will be an off track, but with the wall so close in that corner. Makes me to have to retire the car from the track.
Yeah, it's a very narrow section of the circuit. There was quite a lot of that tonight, to be fair, with people swapping positions, not quite leaving enough room. But to be honest with you, Alex, if I said that you were the only person tonight to miss the braking marker at turn 1, I'd be a complete liar, mate. I would be a real liar. There was a lot of people missing it. There's a lot of incidents there. People just tapping the back of the car in front, unsettling it on the brakes and causing a big shunt. But you know, it's part of racing with so close with these touring cars. That's part of the nature of them. And you know, if people aren't around to accept it, they shouldn't be racing the cars, really, should they?
Yeah, I have been talking with Miguel after the race in the iRacing chat. We all said that it was an incident, a race incident at the end.
That's good.
I mean, I could leave a bit more room in the brake point, and he could brake a bit earlier. So, I mean, this is racing, and contact is part of racing. I mean, we have to minimize contact, but
well, rubbing's racing sometimes, isn't it?
yeah.
Well, it's good to hear that you've got that respect, and of course have the chat with each other afterwards. It's good to see you having a scrap. We go to Zandvoort next week. Is that a track where you're feeling particularly confident?
Not really. I mean, it's not my favorite track, and I didn't make a good start of this championship. I thought that I could be in a higher level, but I mean, I don't know what is going to happen in Zandvoort. I will practice a lot this week. Now with no university and everything, I have time to train. So
yeah.
I will try to learn the track, because I think I have never make a lap with this car. So we will see what is my pace there.
Well, only one way to find out, mate. Before I let you go tonight, is there anyone you want to give a quick shout out to?
No, I don't think. But
okay. Fair enough, then. That's the first time anyone's ever said no to that, I think, if I'm honest with you, Alex, but fair play. It's a different approach. Well, I will, hopefully, we'll see you get some good results next week at Zandvoort, and I may speak to you then.
Yeah, hopefully. Yeah, just say congratulations to Miguel. It's in an incredible level, and he's making an impressive championship. He deserved the win of both races.
Good stuff.
So
very good of you, mate.
Congratulations to podium too.
Smashing stuff, Alex. Well, thank you very much for your time, and we'll speak to you next time round.
Yeah, thank you.
Cheers.
See you. Good.
And one more person to bring in, then we'll make it the final interview of the night. Someone that had a very important race too in that one, to make sure that he climbed back up the championship after a bit of a tough race. Carl Jacquelet joins me in the booth. How are we doing, Carl? You all right?
Yeah, good evening. Yeah, not bad at all, actually.
Good stuff. I imagine that was, at points, a bit of an up and down evening for you, a bit of mixed emotions across the whole night.
Yeah, 2 amateur poles. Fortunately, the jump start cost me a lap. A 35-second penalty sat in the pit, which was a bit of a downer, but second race, thoroughly enjoyed that, even though I did get put in the barrier at one point.
Yeah, it was, like I say, bit of mixed fortunes at points. You know, you still had a really good climb back up the order, but At the moment, I'm just having a look at the championship standings now. Mr. Hopley has made me aware. You are actually top in the AM category now by 22 points over Dean Timms. So you've got the job done tonight. Of course, Lee Deeman not racing this evening. It was very important of you to take advantage of that, wasn't it?
It was. I was a little bit concerned yesterday whether I'd actually make it or not. Yesterday I had a dry cough and tight chest and thought, oh no, here we go. But today I've been absolutely fine, so it might have just been all the sawdust I was working with yesterday.
Fair play then. Fair play. Well, fingers crossed it doesn't.
I wouldn't make it.
Well, fingers crossed it doesn't hang about like that, mate. It's good to see you on the grid and obviously repping the Year 1 racing name. We've got Zandvoort coming up next week. Now, is that a track that you've driven this car around a lot? It seems like a lot of the other guys I've interviewed haven't done so.
I've driven a fair bit around there. Looking forward to that one. It should be interesting. It is quite tight though.
Yeah, it really is.
Mind you, this track had its tight bits, and I was actually running an asymmetrical setup. Different springs on the right to the left, different cambers both sides.
Oh, okay.
It's basically an oval. It's only got one left kink.
Yeah, it's very true.
It made a lot of difference at the end of the race, I think, on tyre wear. I had a lot more turn in than the guys in front of me.
Well, it's interesting for even in shorter races like this, for a strategy like that to come into play. You know, it's part of these million aspects that you have to consider as a driver in these races. Seemed like good fun though tonight. Now, obviously, we'll hopefully see you get some good results at Zandvoort. Like you say, it is a very tight circuit. But now you leave this race as the championship leader in the AM class. Is there anyone you want to give a shout out to before you go?
Just the usual one with Year 1 and their amazing flip-flops. And of course, if you use Jackalette42 at checkout, you'll get a discount.
Sounds good, mate. Sounds good. I might have to get on that. Hopefully the weather improves and I can bust some out. Either that or I'll have to tap Graham up for some.
Yeah, summer is coming.
It is. Slowly, but getting there. That's not if we're all not self-isolating anyway, but we're not going to talk about that.
Well, it's like self-isolating the garden.
Very true indeed. Well, it was good to speak to you again, Carl. Very well done in taking the championship lead tonight and honour your results as always. And we'll speak to you potentially next time round.
Yeah, I hope so.
Cheers, mate.
Good result there as well. Good night, everyone.
Carl Jackalette there of Year 1 Racing. And that does conclude the stream tonight. But what I'm going to do is just have a quick look at the championship standings. You heard me touch on the AM category there. Carl Jackalette top with 194 points over Dean Timms with 172. Lee Deemer 165. He's only 11 points then ahead of Carn Newen, with Andy Fox 5th in the championship on 128. So, bit of a 4-horse race at the moment between those boys. And in the pro category, it is the man we interviewed just a moment ago, Connor Parisi, leading the way on 413 points, only 6 points ahead of Lewis Ward, with Miguel Freitas 397 points. So he's only 10 points back, and 5 behind him, we have Adam McNally, and then Matthias Titij. A bit of a dark horse there is Titij on 367, but then you've got to look 70 points back to Ben Thayens. So there's 5 guys that are looking to be lined up for that championship there. And in the teams, I'm just trying to load this up and see whether we can get that to show. There it is. It is Team Mad, top of the standings at the moment with 716 points from Meraki Racing with 688. And it's very close behind there. 657 to XII Racing and Simracersworld Esports TCR on 646. So there's not a lot in it, to be honest, all the way up and down the order. I'm just going to have a quick look. Dino says, great streams as always, Chaz. Thank you very much, guys. Honestly, I really do appreciate everyone showing me their sort of gratitude for these broadcasts. I really enjoy doing it. The racing is fantastic as well. And in the Senad Kokkan Trophy, I still can't say your name right, I'm really sorry. It's actually Sebastian Denise that looks like he's leading the way at the moment. Let me just... Oh, no, never mind. It's not been sorted properly at the moment. It's Jeremy Hessels. Jeremy Hessels, I'm not surprised at tonight. Leading the way on 49 overtakes. Sebastian Denise is in second with Dean Timms in third. And then another 8 places behind him is Philip Hopley. So, doing a cracking job at the moment, those boys. Very, very impressive indeed. Miguel Freitas is actually right near the bottom of that standing. So, Miguel's not near the top of something for once. But, of course, he doesn't need to overtake people when he starts on pole all the time and then wins. But anyway, thank you very much for everybody for joining in tonight. It's been a hell of a lot of fun. I've really enjoyed doing this broadcast as always. And of course, we are at Zandvoort next week. No Formula 3 series this week. It is next Thursday that we will be doing that again. So that is Thursday the 26th of March. But if you join me in a week's time, we'll go to Holland and Zandvoort. We'll have 2 more fantastic races there. Have a great night, and I'll see you then.